Didn't recognize me, did you? Larry? Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Can't see anybody. Your performer tonight is Barbara Wycamp. Barbara has pursued an extensive and wide-ranging career in entertainment.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Nope.
Hello. How about now? How about now? Better?
Better.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good evening. Born and raised in Cleveland, that's in Ohio, she has performed at the Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater, Theater by the Sea, Walt Disney World's Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, to name just a few. She spent 6 years performing on cruise ships all over the world. Since moving to Pennsylvania with her husband, Nick Dunn, moi, Barbara continues to create, produce, and perform various one-woman shows throughout the Delaware Valley area. And now, please welcome Barbara Wycamp and Ed Sullivan's Holiday Celebrity Shoe.
Call out the holly, put up the tree before my spirits fall again. Fill up the stockings, I may be rushing things, but deck the halls again now. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at the spinet. We need a little Christmas right this very minute. Hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry, so climb down the chimney, put up the brightest stream of lights I've ever seen. Slice up the fruitcake. It's time we hung some tinsel on that evergreen bar. I've grown a little leaner, grown a little colder, grown a little sadder, grown a little older, and I need a little snubby, happy ever after, need a little Christmas now. Happy holidays, everyone! Oh, and what we really need now is a little Ed Sullivan. Oh, cheers, Ed.
Here's to you, Roz.
Oh, thank you.
And I understand we need to have another toast to you, Roz. I understand you're now on Broadway.
Yes, I am. I am playing Auntie Mame at the Broadhurst Theater. Please come. It's a great show.
Well, here's to you, Roz.
And here's to all of you for a happy holiday.
Happy
Cheers.
holidays. Roz and Russell, ladies and gentlemen. You know, folks, about 3 months ago, I turned 124 years old. So about this time of night, I get kind of tired. You might say I get dead tired. So I've asked my friend Nick to help me co-host the show this evening. Say, Nick, will our first guest really be Mr. Elvis Presley? Stay there, Ed. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick Dunn, and I will be co-hosting the show with Ed tonight. Before we get started, I just want to say it is so nice to perform for an audience who actually knew who Ed Sullivan was. And yes, Ed, our first guest will be Mr. Elvis Presley. When Ed first met Elvis, he didn't like him at all. But as they got to know each other, they got to be friends. Because Elvis and Ed had one very special thing in common. Both of them had twin brothers that died before the age of 2 years old. So it really kind of brought them together. Now, Elvis is going to do his favorite Christmas song tonight, Blue Christmas. Now, Elvis, he took a break, made movies for a while, from 1962 to 1968. But in 1968, he made a comeback. Who knew Elvis Presley needed to make a comeback? But he released a new album. Now, it was right around December, so Colonel Parker, his manager, wanted it to be an all-Christmas album. Elvis said, no, I'll do some Christmas songs, but I'm not going to make it an all-Christmas album. But he did have White Christmas and Blue Christmas on the same album. When the writer of White Christmas, Irving Berlin, heard Elvis's version of White Christmas, he went absolutely berserk. He hated it. Said it was a profane parody of his Christmas classic. He got all of his employees back to his office building in New York City, and he got them to call all these radio stations all over the country and beg them. Actually, then he threatened them to never play Elvis Presley's version of White Christmas again. Well, what happens when you threaten somebody? They played the heck out of that song. He hated it until all the royalties started flowing in. Interesting side note, in Canada, they banned the whole album. Don't know why. And now, for all you youngsters out there, Mr. Elvis Presley. Elvis?
Christmas without you, I'll be so blue. Just thinking about you.
Elvis Presley, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we're going to do Little Miss Dynamite. Brenda Mae Tarpley. Anybody? Brenda Lee. Brenda Lee grew up outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And when she was 3 years old, her mother took her to the local grocery store, picked her up, put her up on the counter at the front, and then put a little basket next to her, and Brenda would sing, and people would come by and leave money, or candy bars, or chewing gum, whatever. They were really, really poor. When Brenda turned 6, her father started taking her around to singing contests all over the South, which she invariably won. Then, when she was 10, her dad died, so she couldn't go to any more singing contests. Her mother worked full-time in a cotton gin. Then, one weekend, her mother saw an ad in the Atlanta Journal for auditions for a new ABC TV show called the Ozark Jubilee. She said, I think I'll take Brenda up there. It's a weekend, I have it off. So she took Brenda up there, and in a half an hour, they signed Brenda to be the youngest member of the Ozark Jubilee at just 11 years old. Now the song she's going to sing tonight, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, she made in 1958. She released it, and it went absolutely nowhere. In 1959, she released it again, still nowhere. But in 1960, she was starting to be a big star. So it went right straight to the top. By the end of the 60s, Brenda Lee was the 4th largest earner in the pop music business, only behind Elvis, the Beatles, and Ray Charles. And now here's Little Miss Dynamite, 3 feet of hair, and a 6'4" boyfriend, and she was 4 feet 9. But she had 8 feet of voice. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Brenda Lee.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices sing and let's be jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dance merrily in the new old-fashioned way. Mr. Sullivan, may I have a dance? You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices sing and let's be jolly. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way.
Brenda Lee, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to slow it down a little bit now with Miss Karen Carpenter. Who better to sing a Christmas carol than Karen Carpenter? Now the song Karen's going to sing tonight, Merry Christmas, Darling, was written in 1946 by a guy named Frank Pooler. He released it. It did so poorly that he pulled it. Fast forward 20 years. Frank Pooler is now the head of the music department at Cal State Long Beach. And two of his prize students are Karen and Richard Carpenter. Now, Richard tells Frank that he's going to release a Christmas album, but Karen doesn't want to sing all the same songs everybody else is singing. She wants something new. So Frank says, listen, I wrote this song, Merry Christmas, Darling, in 1946, and I never did anything with it because I really didn't like the tune. But Richard, you're a great songwriter. Why don't you see if you can put a tune to this song? It took him about a half an hour. Karen Carpenter was one of these stars that we almost never saw, because she was the drummer in the Richard Carpenter Trio. Fortunately, his trio went nowhere. And one day he said, not doing trios anymore, I'm going to play the piano and I'm going to have Karen sing the songs. At one time, we all think of the Carpenters as a big-time group, but at one time, their star was fading a little bit. In his autobiography, Richard said that the thing that brought them back, that made them the darling of the 70s, was a call to be on the Ed Sullivan Show. Ladies and gentlemen, the angel of the 70s, Miss Karen Carpenter.
Christmas cards have all been sent. The Christmas rush is through. But I still have one wish to make, a special one for you. Merry Christmas, darling. We're apart, that's true, but I can dream, and in my dreams I'm Christmasing with you. Holidays are joyful, there's always something new. Every day's a holiday when I'm near to you. Lights on my tree, I wish you could see. I wish it every day. Logs on the fire fill me with desire to see you and to say that I wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year too. There's just one wish on this Christmas Eve. I wish I were with you. I wish I were with you.
Probably didn't know that I was a pugilist. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I started my professional career as a boxer. Our next song is that beautiful Hanukkah song, Light One Candle. Now this is a song about stamping out prejudice and bullying. And it will be sung by Mary Travers from Peter, Paul, and Mary. I'm here to help her knock out that bullying, knock out that prejudice. Ed used to say that Light One Candle was his wife Sylvia's favorite Hanukkah song. She was Jewish, and she loved that song. Now, Light One Candle was written by Peter Yarrow, one of the members of Peter, Paul, and Mary, and he wrote it kind of as an answer to the 1982 Lebanon War. He was a pacifist, and he only asked one question. When did the peacemakers get a seat at the table? We've got plenty of people that want to go to war sitting at the table, but when do the peacemakers? And I thought to myself, wow, you could ask that question today. When did the peacemakers get a shot? Ladies and gentlemen, from the world-renowned group Peter, Paul, and Mary, here is Mary Travers and Light One Candle. Mary?
Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. And light one candle for those who are suffering pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in, let anger not tear us apart. Light one candle to bind us together, peace as a song in our hearts. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out.
Next, the singing cowboy, Mr. Gene Autry. I grew up in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and I can't tell you how many times I went to the movies on Saturday morning and watched a whole day's worth of Gene Autry movies. It was a dime, 10 cents. Now, Gene Autry we know for a whole lot of things, but mostly cowboy movies and music. One thing that you probably don't know about Gene Autry is he hated to record songs that he didn't write. Gene was a big participant in the Pasadena Rose Bowl parade. He always rode his horse Champion right behind the Grand Marshal Cadillac convertible. And when he came down the street, all the kids would be hollering, "Here comes Gene, here comes Gene." One year, they asked him to be the Grand Marshal. So he's in the Cadillac, no horse, but right behind the Cadillac is Santa Claus. So when he's coming down the street in the Cadillac, he's hearing all the kids going, "Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus." He went home and wrote that song in an hour. But here's one he didn't write, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was written by a guy named Rob May in 1939. He worked for the Montgomery Ward department store in Chicago. When Montgomery Ward himself heard Rob's poem, he wrote this as a poem for his Down syndrome daughter to cheer her up at Christmas because she couldn't play with any reindeer games. She couldn't play any games at all. So he wanted to cheer her up. When Montgomery Ward heard the poem, he asked him to recite it at the company Christmas party, which he did. After the party, Montgomery Ward bought the rights to that poem. He put it in a little pamphlet, and he gave it away to every single person that bought a Christmas gift between 1940 and 1946. By 1946, he had given away 6.5 million of these things. Then in 1949, Rob May's brother-in-law, Johnny Marks, who happened to be a songwriter, said, let's put this to music and release it. So they did. Went absolutely nowhere. So they spent a couple of years trying to find some star that would release it. Until in 1955, they approached Gene Autry, who didn't like to release songs that he didn't write. But after he heard the poem and he heard the story, he said, okay, I'll do it. The song went right straight to the top. Now here's the best part. When the money started rolling in, Montgomery Ward went to Rob May and he said, Rob, I'm going to sell you the rights back to your poem so that you can make the money from this poem because you wrote it. When do you hear that in business today? Especially in the music business. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the singing cowboy, Mr. Gene Autry.
Now you know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. He had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer, they used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. And one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Now sit back in your saddles and sing along with me, and Ed, come on out, join us. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight, everybody! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. In a one-horse open sleigh.
Say, Gene, where will you be going now?
Well, I'll be back in the saddle again.
Hey, Gene Autry. ladies
Happy
and
holidays, everyone.
We're going to start a 3-song set now that we call Change is Good, because all 3 of these folks changed their names, and we think probably for the better. The first, Frances Ethel Gum. Everybody knows Judy Garland. Judy Garland was one of Ed's favorites, but unfortunately he had her own show only twice. Once in New York, and then once at the London Palladium. She was doing a show in London, and she couldn't get out of her contract. So Ed took the entire show over to London. Now, the song she's going to do for you tonight, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, was of course from Meet Me in St. Louis, remember that? And it was sung by Esther, the oldest sister, to the youngest sister, Tootie, to kind of try and cheer her up at Christmas time. Because Father had just been transferred from their beloved St. Louis to New York. So in the show, they wanted a cheer-up song. I'm going to read to you the first run-through of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. This is the original. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. It may be your last. Next year, we may all be living in the past. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Pop that champagne cork. Next year, we may all be living in New York. Vince Minnelli hated it. Judy hated it. So Hugh Martin, the guy that wrote it, said, okay, let me give it a try. I'll try and do better. So, ladies and gentlemen, Frances Ethel Gunn will be singing the second version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Judy? Thank you, Judy. Next, Harry Lillis Crosby. Now, I said I grew up in Doylestown, little town. And in our town, in my family, my grandmother was the only one that had a television set. And my father loved Ed Sullivan. So every Sunday night, 8 o'clock, we had to be up at Nana's house to watch Ed Sullivan. And his favorite guest was Bing Crosby. So I asked my dad one time, how in the world did Harry Lillis Crosby become Bing Crosby? He had no idea. So I decided to find out. Now, Bing grew up in Spokane, Washington. And at the age of 12, he took up reading the local newspaper called the Bingville Bugle. He loved that newspaper, read it every day. In Bing's words, not mine, there was a bratty little girl that lived next door who liked to come over and read the paper with him. And she coined the name for him, Bingo from Bingville. Fast forward 10 years, he's 22 years old. He's going to Los Angeles to get into the music business. And he says, I think I'm going to keep that name. No, not the Bingo or the Bingville, but Bing. And that's how Harry Lillis Crosby became Bing Crosby. Now, again, like Gene Autry, we know him for lots of things. He owned half of the Pittsburgh Pirates, he owned a racetrack, a golf course, all kinds of things. But we know him mostly for the music. They say in 1946, Bing Crosby was responsible for almost half of the music played on the radio. He is the only person to sell 1 billion records in the United States. 1 billion. 100 million copies of White Christmas. He used to say, Barry and Nick, he used to say, you probably wrote the best song ever. Because White Christmas is so perfect that a crow with laryngitis could sing that song and sell 1 million copies. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bing Crosby.
Just like the ones I know, where the treetops glisten as children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write, may your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be wide. Now sing along, please join me. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten, where the treetops glisten as children listen
Say, Bing, will you and Bob be entertaining the troops this year?
Yes, we will, Ed. And Aunt Margaret will be joining us this year.
Oh, yeah, I like Aunt Margaret, yeah.
Yeah, she's a fine performer, and we're very glad to have her.
Bing Crosby, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you, Bing. And finally, Conchetta Rosemarie Francanero. Connie Francis. Now, Connie Francis was kind of like, she was born in Newark, but she grew up in the South. And her father also took her around to singing contests, which she invariably won. But she didn't join the Ozark Jubilee. She got her start on the Arthur Godfrey Talent Scouts. Remember that? Oh, yeah. Old Arthur, he would sit over there behind that big, huge desk, and they had a little chair next to it, and after you sang your song or did your whatever you did, would play an instrument, told a joke, you would have to come over and sit down next to Arthur, and he would critique your performance. Must have been very, very hard for Connie because she was only 12 when she went on there. But she was different than any other singer that he had ever had because she was lugging a 40-pound accordion. Her father insisted that she play the accordion on all of her recordings because he was an accordion teacher. She hated that accordion. So she sits down, and Arthur says, "Young lady, you have a great voice. You're going to be a big star. But we got to get rid of that accordion." So she got rid of the accordion, and what was her father going to say? "Hey, Arthur told me I had to get rid of it, Dad." She wanted to get rid of that thing from day one. Secondly, he said, "Listen, Conchetta Rosemarie Francanero will never fit on a 45 record. You're now going to be Connie Francis." Now, I told you that Bing Crosby was the biggest seller in the United States, but worldwide, Connie Francis was the biggest seller because Connie Francis released her songs in 15 different languages. She was fluent in 5. Now, just kind of like the Carpenters, Connie Francis's career started fading also. So much so that in the late 60s, she decided to get out of the music business and become a doctor. She enrolled and was accepted to NYU Med School. 1 week before classes were to start, she got that magic phone call. No, not Ed Sullivan. This time it was Dick Clark. And of course, the rest is Connie Francis history. Here's Connie to take you for a walk through a winter wonderland. Connie?
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening, a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird.
we end tonight's program, I have some thank yous. First, I'd like to thank all of you for having us here. Thank you so much for inviting us. Ordinarily, at this point, I would thank my piano player, Bill Gottschall, but Bill has COVID, or had COVID. He's over it, but I didn't think this would be a good place to bring him. Even though he's over it, I always thank my mom in these shows, especially this one, because my mom always made Christmas so special. And finally, I'd like to thank you, the audience. I know you go to shows, and the MC or the singer or the piano player says you've been a great audience, but I never thought that was enough, so I wrote you a thank you poem. Thank you so much for coming today, but it seems as though some of you forgot to pay. All kidding aside, we hope you had fun, and a happy holiday to everyone. Thank you so much for coming. And finally, good night, Mrs. Cowback, wherever you are. Our next performer, Miss Julie Andrews. Now, Julie Andrews performed on Ed's show when she was only 20 years old for the first time. It was easy. She was next door, at the theater next door, starring in My Fair Lady. So all she had to do was walk across the street. Now she's going to sing that beautiful, classic Christmas carol, Silent Night. Ed used to say that he thought everybody in America should be able to come to New York and go to a Broadway show. But he knew darn well that most people couldn't afford it. And once they got to New York, they probably couldn't afford the ticket. So he took it upon himself to have at least one Broadway performer on every show. Sometimes he had a whole show full of Broadway performers. He was really dedicated to Broadway. And now from Broadway, the very talented Miss Julie Andrews and Silent Night. Good evening, everyone. Sonny Bono here. I know you thought I was dead, but here I am. Did you know that Cher and I got started right down here in Philadelphia? We were backup singers for Phil Spector's Wall of Sound. After Phil Spector, we decided to go out on our own. We had a wonderful career. We sold 40 million records. We had 2 TV shows, nominated for 13 Emmys. Our career was going great. And then she divorced me. Now, Cher went on to have a wonderful career. She had a great musical career, and she even became an actress and won an Oscar. I decided to try comedy. My show lasted 1 year. Then I decided I'm going to change completely. I'm going to get into politics. I lived in Palm Springs, California, and I decided to run for mayor. And I won. Then I thought, hey, why don't I run for the U.S. House of Representatives? Heck, I could take my comedy act to Washington and they'd never know the difference. And I won again. Then I was in Heavenly Valley, California. And I was skiing down this big hill. I was a good skier. And all of a sudden, a great, huge tree jumped right out in front of me and killed me. But I'm back. And tonight, Cher and I are going to take you all on a sleigh ride. Cher? Player, Bill Dotchall. A big hand for Barb and Nick and her Ed Sullivan Holiday Celebrity. One last thing. Let's have a big hand for Ed Sullivan. Where would we have been without Ed Sullivan? And Sunday night was all Ed Sullivan. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm still alive, I'm going to take Cher on one last sleigh ride. Thank you for coming, everybody, and good night. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can tell we have as much fun as you do, right? Thank you, Lord. So she was a pro. She did a lot of off-road things. Not me, though. I was aggressive. I'll give you a good. Thank you, sir. We're going to be here.
We're coming back. New Year's Day. Yes, is coming back for Home with Hammerstein.
I'm going to do a show called Home with Hammerstein. Where we do all Hammerstein songs. Because as a kid, I grew up across the field from Oscar Hammerstein. That's what we call Home with Hammerstein. Yep. Doylestown.
We're going to do a show.
Doylestown.
Home with Hammerstein.
Oscar Hammerstein.
Hammerstein's in costumes.
Oscar Hammerstein lived on Pebble Hill Road. And they were parallel. And my woods backed up to his field. He raised black Angus cows.
I'm glad you were here tonight.
Black Angus cows. And my brother-in-law. Oh, okay. You know Doylestown. James Mitchell and my mother Granford snowboarding together. They were good friends.
Oh, nice. Safe?
So I have a lot of stories about Mitchner and Oscar Hammerstein.
Yeah,
You haven't.
you're here. You know this. Yeah, Steve has us. What? Oh,
Yes, we did. We were here.
we're creating a new one.
Yeah.
George Burns and Gracie Allen. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Barbara Streisand.
Thanks, Larry.
You like this? No?
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow.
It was really windy when we came here. Goodness. Yeah.
They're gonna go to Israel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's just.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
We got a brand new,
Oh, they.
we have two big ones. One's 2 years old.
To you they are. To you they'll always be kids, Larry.
It's only a month old.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
How old?
Baby's a month old tomorrow. And
You haven't seen him?
we haven't seen him yet, but we're gonna see him on Monday.
Oh, Monday. Cool.
And his big sister is gonna be 2 on the 31st.
That'll be wonderful.
Have you seen her yet?
Yes.
Oh, you've
In
seen her.
fact, last year they spent 7 weeks with us. So, and you've seen it, we were over there in March.
Excellent. Alrighty.
Blessings.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. We'll be back on the 1st.
My brother-in-law comes from Doyle's.
Oh, Doylestown?
Doylestown? What's his name?
Decker.
The day before Christmas.
His last name Decker?
Decker, yeah. The first parents' name was, his name is Bruce, but he has, two brothers and a sister, I think. Can't remember his parents' name.
Nope.
I'm sure there are a lot of people in Doyle's.
Actually, not that many. I grew up in Doylestown, but I left when I was 22 and I moved to California.
Oh, okay.
I spent 35 years in California.
He probably,
I had 3 restaurants in California.